Hey everybody, it's kind of fun that I
Hello.
chose to talk about dealing with problems today, and that's
Hello.
all I've been dealing with. This one tore up my notes. That one was trying to kill Salamander. Well, at least chase him around and scare the heck out of him. You tore up my
Indeed.
notes, you little monster.
They're bad
Uh,
buddies.
well, no, I'm not. You go sit somewhere else. Go on. He just wants to get to the paper in my pocket. No, I'm not
Sure
going
he
to let you
wants.
up here. You stay on the ground. Stay down for a little bit. Monster? No.
Hello and welcome everybody. We have already two chatters. It's Lisa Banerjee and Calvin Thurston who are here. So hello and welcome.
Hello.
Hello. Bob? No. Uh-uh. You're a pest. He's like, who, me? I didn't do anything. Yeah, you did. There's nothing I can do to say even, 5 simple notes, bullet points, and this one chewed up the card before I even started. Monster. Well, you are a monster. A cute one, but you're a monster anyway. I'm not going to let you sit over here right now. No. Come here. How dare it? No, you stay out of my pocket. You stay out of my pocket. You stay out of my pocket. Silly bird. And this one's up. She's pouting, I think, because I put her in the temporary holding cage next to the aviary because she was trying to attack this poor boy.
Sugar was in timeout. What a naughty Shug.
Yeah, you can tell she didn't think much of that. She's in the corner. Put herself in the corner.
And facing away. She's like, I don't want to talk to you. But we've got a couple more chatters. We've got Giselle and we've got Falcon Sue. So hello to both of you. Nice to see you.
Hello. Say hello. Hello. Bob, I don't know about you. No. Uh-uh. Watch yourself.
We'll tell him that he's a good boy, but he isn't really.
Oh, well, it's just a piece of paper to him. To me, it was just a few notes to try to. Uh-oh. I think he. Did you get them on my. Yeah, that's what's left of my notes.
Comedy gold, Bob.
I might be able to figure out what I was trying to say looking at it, but.
It's like tying a knot in a piece of string. You don't read it, but it's a memory jog all the same. Hopefully.
Pretty much, yeah. Like I actually have a memory app that it leaves letters out randomly, and then it'll leave words out. You can adjust how many, so when you're trying to memorize something, it helps jog your memory. And I can remember when I was I was just turned 21, and I was memorizing a whole bunch of stuff. And I had a key like that to memorize some of it, and it really helps. But this isn't exactly what I planned on, Bob. And it's funny, I put it in a pocket where he couldn't get to it. I moved it into this little pouch, and within a minute, he had this thing torn up and on the bottom of the cage, or bottom of the aviary. So it was a 3x5 card, Bob. It was. I tried to go back to the old way, use a 3x5 card, and Bob wouldn't let me. Nope, you're not going in my pocket. You're not. Nope. Cecil, would you deal with Bob? No, he's busy breaking toys. I think he likes it better broken. That way he can shove that little piece on it and take it off. Well, somewhat similar to someone who takes the stem from a cherry and ties a knot in with their tongue. Harder for humans to do, would be easy for him to do. We don't have a bone in our tongue, and we don't have intrinsic and extrinsic muscles either. So, what? You want me to pet you? I'll probably lose the shards of my note if I pet you. Probably.
So Falcon says in chat, dying laughing, Bob is poster boy for parrot problems. Yep.
Yeah, he is.
He is just the right person for that.
Yeah. And we have the other bird. She's not being a problem at all today. She's over there, the other Triton trouble bird. Get out of my pocket.
Pippa. Just sitting there in the corner. Oh, maybe that's why Manda's over. That's usually the Manda corner where he sits.
Well, Pippa looks like she's being a good girl.
She definitely
taking a nap. I think it was too much excitement for her when she got in here watching Sugar try to, that thing up there, that sugar bird, try to go after Mander.
Yeah, poor Mander, he's sadly not fully flighted due to his twisted hip, so he cannot easily fly away. If that was the case, it wasn't that a problem when Robo Shook walks after Mander.
Yeah, he was trying to get out. I mean, I put him in here, and then I come out after I brought Lucy out, and he's like, "Take me out now!" And I'm watching. And I'm watching Witch Hazel over here coming after him, like, get out of my pocket. I don't want a whole bunch of wood in my pocket. You don't want to play in my pocket. You want to take the paper out. No. Little monster. You're a little monster. Cute monster, but you and Audrey, too, the plant, have something in common. Yes, you do. You're cuter, though. Yeah, Giselle, that's what Lorelei does. If you've got a zipper or buttons, she'll come up and snuggle you and make you feel all complacent, then destroy them. And she usually breaks the button. If she gets a button, she breaks the button when you're watching. She'll play with it until you see her, then she breaks it. Because she figures you're going to take it away or something. I don't know what she thinks, but that's what she does. Right, Bob? Right, Bob? Well, what made me think about talking about parrot problems, not obviously what went on, is like I set myself up for this, but you never know if you're being told the truth when you hear these warnings that there's danger of, right now there's a warning that there's an avian flu is about, and I've heard that there's a herd of cattle in Pahrump that was infected with it. So you can either start freaking out and going, "Oh, I can't take the birds outside anymore," because if a bird flies in here and starts, it has it, and they fly around on top of the aviary up there, they could infect everybody. So you can see if you look, I don't know, there is a little fine mesh out there. It's the material you use to protect your garden, and it's all around the aviary, so birds can't get in. So so instead of panicking, I started thinking, I want to take them outside. How can I do this safely, just in case it's true that the avian flu is out there? We want to be sure, right? So this works. And
And the response has to be proportionate to the threat, because you can't put your entire life on hold because of something like that. You have to be realistic. So putting mesh down is a realistic solution,
Yeah, that's
rather than
actually a
rather
good
than keeping them all
solution.
inside for the next 6 months. That wouldn't be a realistic solution.
Yeah, since it's even not fully confirmed. I mean, when a cattle has it, and so the problem is that most farmers or general, the people have no idea how the infection way is. So who has infected whom? So what is the chain? Who is the path?
And also with farm animals, they have certain regulations they have to adhere to that don't apply to private pets as well, which makes things very difficult for farmers, but
Yeah,
that's the way
I
it
think
is.
here in Germany, I have actually no idea how they deal with if you have a budgie aviary or something like that. Because when you have hens or stuff like that, then you basically have to declare that at the local veterinary office. And if there is something going on or so, you actually can be forced to put them in or something like that. So. Germany overregulation.
yeah, and you still do everything in paper.
In triplicate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be stamped by some government drone. It's just. But so dealing with the problem here is like, how can I solve it? And I just started brainstorming on it, put it out to the universe. How can I take them outside? And then I thought of the garden mesh, and garden mesh like that costs $26 for 40 foot by 13 inch by 13 foot. So it's attached to the house, and then it goes around, and I have an opening on the other side. The birds won't come in if we're in here anyway. But when we're not in here is when we really have to watch it, because that's when they will try to get in. And I've seen birds do it in the past. They'll fly up and land on the aviary. Well, they can't do that now. So, you okay, Mander? Yeah. I don't know about you. Are you trying to get in my pocket again, you little toad? I have my fragments. I might be able to figure them out.
Well, I think Manda would like to stay in for the next 6 months if it'll mean staying away from sugar.
Oh, pretty much.
She's scary.
When she wants to be, she can be. Right now, she's flipping her wings. Like, don't mess with me. I'm not in the mood. She has been getting more territorial lately, and today was the big one as far as that. So yeah, I have about half of my notes. The first thing I was going to talk about is focusing on prevention, and you can actually see that's what I've done here. Is I've just made it so the birds can't get in, the native birds, so that they can't accidentally move, feces or something in here that will cause these birds to get avian flu. Now you can, rather than panic and say, "Oh, what are we going to do?" Just found a solution. So you want to focus on prevention where you can. So and then That's a lot of things. Like in the kitchen, I have the mats to put out a fire, right? I also have the fire extinguishers. Again, it's prevention. You don't want to be there. How am I going to put out this fire later, right? It's the same with behavior too. You want to try to catch the behavior early on. I've been working with her behavior, but it's just getting more and more aggressive towards not just Mander. She does that with Lucy too at the end. So usually the first bird to come out is Bob, but that's not because he gets aggressive. It's because he just screams the whole time once I leave. So from now on, it's going to be first one out is Sugar. um, I know that much. I'm not sure who that. Well, he'll always try to be the first one out, but it'll be Sugar the first one out, and then probably Pippa. Although Pippa's not aggressive, not so much anymore. Once in a while, she gets a little pushy, but and Bob. Treat behavior issues as a puzzle, not a problem. That's the thing too. If you think of it like when I was thinking about the avian flu thing, I was going, how would I solve this? Again, like a puzzle. How do you solve it? What can you do? And it didn't take me long. If I started thinking about it at night, woke up in the morning with a solution, and then stretched that stuff around there and staked it to the ground and hooked it to the top of the aviary, and we're done. But thinking of it as a puzzle instead of, oh my God, what am I going to do? You don't want to think of it as a problem. The word problem has problems in itself. When you start saying I have a problem, well, I don't like the watered down. I have an issue. I don't like that much. But if you think of it as I have a puzzle to solve, that's a lot better. You know, the whole use of the word issue is way overdone. It's things like, oh, Jeffrey Dahmer had issues. Okay, you could say that, right? He had issues. Right, right. Mander, big salamander. Mander. So they're puzzles, not problems. Now, see, the third one, I'm going to have to really try to figure out on my notes where we are. Oh, I can figure that out. You want to break, big puzzles into smaller ones. The PC word today is challenges. You want to break the challenges into small steps. Now, break the puzzle into smaller steps, right? So put the piece, kind of look at the pieces and say, well, which pieces can I handle now? Which, right now, which ones do I have to work on? That kind of thing. If you break it down like that, a big problem becomes a lot smaller. As today with Sugar, who was trying to illustrate the point, breaking apart one small part of the puzzle was putting her in the outside isolation cage while I did everybody else and brought him in. Of course, it has left her sitting in the corner, and we would say if it was a small child, she is pouting. Sugar, are you pouting? She's not even looking at me. He put me in the small cage outside. But again,
Miss Shaggy. So
yeah,
cute.
no, she's just not a happy camper.
She was put in the penalty box.
Well, I tried
they're emotionally complex.
Yeah. I tried putting her down on the cement. She just climbed back up and kept going after him. So I was out here for about 5 minutes. I'm starting to run out of time, right? And dealing with her. And finally, I said, the only way I can deal with this is to isolate it. So again, I made the big puzzle into a small one by putting the easiest piece in this case, it was her, the Sugar, into the outside isolation cage, which is where I used to have to put Bob, because when I'd bring him in here, he'd start attacking the other birds, that kind of thing. So, but he doesn't do that anymore. Don't laugh at me when I say that. Don't laugh at me when I say that. No, you mustn't.
He's trying
Silly
to get
bird.
into your pocket again, huh?
Yeah.
Great distraction movement. Putting the piece of wood in, trying to pull the cards out, huh?
Yeah.
He's so smart.
He is. So it's like with training too. You break everything into small steps. You've seen birds do complex behaviors like pick up a little miniature basketball and drop it into a hoop. It didn't start that way. It may have started with just moving the ball with the beak, until you finally get them to pick it up. And each of those stages you reward and you go on. Well, it's like that with problems too. You want to break them into the solvable ones and solve those, and then work with what's left. Don't try to deal with it as a whole. So, okay, I'm gonna see if I can figure out my next. Bob, I moved the paper so you couldn't get to it. I have paper in my pocket so that I can pick up poop when somebody does a bomb on me, which eventually he will because he's right there. Um, and Bob wants to steal the paper. That's what it's all about. Um, yeah, finding support and sharing is a good thing, but you have to keep in mind that a lot of people who may try to support you on the internet uh, wouldn't know their hind end if they used both hands to try to find it. Okay, so beware the people who try to help you who really don't know what they're talking about. Um, and there are a lot of them out there. But sometimes you can get emotional support from people, and once in a while, you may run into somebody who has a good idea. But take them with take a large grain of salt with everything you get if you're getting support off the internet. Now, if you've got some people around you, then you can get support that way. But you may have to do a little training. Depends on what they know about parrots. But I mean, most people wouldn't expect that you'd have to have a load of wood. What do I have? 40 16-footers come in here that I cut in half and put in the shed out there. That should, I can't guarantee it. You see how fast Bob goes through wood, and KK is even faster. That should get me through the summer, but I'll look at it when spring's starting to get a little hot. If I have any doubts, I'll order another 40 pieces of wood. Because the last thing I want to be doing is cutting wood when it's 115 degrees outside. Again, taking problems like making toys and breaking them into smaller puzzle pieces. So looking at it as a puzzle. Well, I want to get as much wood in there as necessary to cover for the summer. And then on that same line, it gets hot. So when it's that hot and you need to cut some more wood, what are you going to do? What I do is right about now when I start cutting wood, I throw one piece of wood in the bucket to come inside and one in the big toy box out there that has a cover so it keeps the spiders and stuff out. So I do one for inside, one for later. And I keep doing that until I've gone through about 80 foot of wood. So
let's welcome some new chatters. It's Jocelyn Triggle who is now here. So welcome, Jocelyn. And Tiki Tiki has joined us. So welcome to you both.
hi, Tiki Tiki. Hi, Jocelyn.
And Giselle loves your comment. I think it probably was on Cecil. There's a bomb on me. That sounds like Cecil punishing you.
I'm not sure what he's thinking when he's beating me with stuff, but what he used to do was chase the birds around all the time.
Yeah,
And
but the bomb I think relates more to pooping on you.
Oh, well, that's going to happen. Lately, I seem to be. Well, I couldn't move the chair, so I'm not quite in this position. This kind of makes it worse, but it's nice because it's a good spot for them to come down to me. But Bob, you little toad. See, he's trying to run off with the notes again. You are a sneak. You are a big sneak. There's only one thing left on there, and then I won't care if you have the note. But actually, I know that I don't even really. The thing is, when you write up a 3x5 card, you usually remember most items on it anyway. But probably the last and most important point is some things just take time. It took 2.5 years to get that bird that looks like it's, yeah, that bird. Yeah, that's that bird, right? That one right there. Uh-huh. Sulking. It looks like she's sulking. Yeah, that one. Took her 2.5 years to get her to where she looked good and didn't mutilate anymore. About the same amount of time to get her to eat decent food. Oh, you're going to go to sleep now? Okay. She's grinding her beak. Sugar. Sugar. You hear the owl? There's an owl out there. Why it's making noise in the middle of the day is hard to say. Sugar. Sugar. Fortunately, I don't see any more drops of blood. I don't know who got hit, and they don't have any sign of it. There's no evidence of any bleeding in the feathers, or certainly nothing on the skin, so I don't know. Sugar! Mander's looking at me like, don't wake up. Yeah, you don't want to wake up the dragon over there, the dragon lady. The dragon lady. You gonna just wave your wings at me there, girl? Oh, that's just all fluffed. Sugar. Just like a child. I'm sulking. Don't mess with me. Yeah, some things are going to take time. So it took time to get Pippa out here, but it worked. Just, a little bit at a time. She'd start to get a bit territorial and aggressive, and I'd take her back in, and just you keep doing that. And eventually, she figured out that if I'm not aggressive, I get to stay out here. Cause is a bigger problem. I've been working on her. She gets out a lot more now because Pippa's out here, so I don't have to take Pippa out on a separate time anymore. But you put Cause out here, and she goes after Cecil. She doesn't mess with Lucy, but the other group is, it comes out is Cecil, and Cecil stays out, and then Snowball comes out with KK, and KK has trouble with the Tritons. He doesn't like that yellow. He sees that as a red flag. It looks yellow to me, but to him it's a red flag. And then Lorelei has just been weird lately, so I take her out and she sits in my lap. You bring her out here with any bird, any other bird, and she gets up in the corner and just stays away. So, but I'm working on it. She'll get out in the group eventually again. Right, Bob? Well, you've got only one more piece after that, one more big piece of wood. I think that's actually the hardest for us. We want to solve one of these puzzles right now, but sometimes it can't be solved right now. It's a process you have to go through. So break it into small steps. How can I deal with this? And and work on when you have time to work on the harder steps. You work on those when you have just a little time and you've got a quick step. You just do it. That's how I managed to do all this here too. Is that I'll be looking and I'll say, oh, I have time to do this. It's about a 10-minute job, and I'll go and I'll get it done. Some of it just has to be done. There are some things that must be done. This is like the getting things done, which is a book. For his last name was Alan. I can't remember, but getting things done was a concept that time management system. But the crux of it is you have something that has to be done, you do it. Okay, you have something you can do in 5 minutes, do it. If you have something that's got maybe a certain time frame, you just wait till you have an open time frame and get it done. But when I had 16 footers of wood sitting out there, it was one of those. I have to get it done the moment I can. So I had it came when I'd given them their dry food and their water, but they hadn't had their wet food yet. So I had to get the wet food done. Then I came right out and cut the wood in half and got it into the shed. So because you just can't leave it out there. The sun will cause it to start warping, that kind of thing. So again, take your puzzles and do them in the order that is first, order of importance, then order of simplicity. I can get this done quickly. You don't take something you can do in 5 minutes and file it. You just get it done. But sugar, 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 sugar.
Oh, she's in a huff, all right.
Oh, she is. Sugar. I think it was the isolation cage that bothered her the most, but because when I looked at her over there as I was bringing in that little girl right there, Pippa, and I looked over to see what she was doing, and her face was, well, a picture of her face would probably have frightened you. It was not the face of a happy bird. Sugar. See, her eyes are oval. That's a sign that I'm not in her. I'm not on her good list. Okay. My father would have said I got put on the S list, but he filled that word out. But that's what he would have said.
The hit list.
Least,
with an S.
Yes, exactly. It is fun dealing with problems as they arise, though. If you think you go through one day without any issues, well, you're not thinking. It's like last time I was in here and the birds were just going off nonstop, rah, 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 and this was on Sunday, and the neighbors were out there, and I had two reasons for trying to quiet them down, and I'm sure that Amy and Eleanor were like, "Why is he doing that?" Because my ears haven't stopped ringing since that day. My ears ring normally at about 25 decibels, but they're about 40 right now. While I'm talking, I'm hearing, it sounds like church bells in slow motion. So, and I do have a set of cheap earbuds that will cut their sound out, but it makes me sound like I'm talking, I don't know, talking like a duck in a box. So I can't really talk. I can't hear myself talk. I should have put those in the second that they started it because I'm still dealing with the ringing of the ears. That's almost not quite double, but almost double. So
One day, that's all you'll be able to hear.
Huh?
One day, that's all you'll be able to hear. Just
Yeah.
rat, 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 forevermore.
Yeah. Well, according to my own tests, I've lost about 25% of my upper range of hearing. So, of course, I started losing my hearing as soon as I got one. But
Oh dear. Why do we have parrots again?
oh, they've taught me a lot. But they're gonna have to
Bless you,
teach me
Pip.
sign language. That's the Pip. Yeah, you get her outside and she starts sneezing like crazy. Well, there's no humidity today. By the time I get out of here, my hands are gonna look like I put them into a dryer. I mean, there won't be any oil in my hands at all. But I can't put any hand cream on while I'm petting the birds. So, right, big guy, right?
Well, at least Mander is happy because you defended him from the evil one.
Yeah, poor guy. He just gets a lot of mistreatment from his aunties. Although Jasmine is leaving him alone pretty much these days, but she doesn't interact with him. But she does. Well, sometimes she'll sit next to him, but Sugar's taken on all the aggressive side there. So, Bob, have you chewed up enough wood yet? Good grief.
Leave some for KK.
Well, they know I've got more wood out there, I guess. And he's got more wood, so we're just going to chew it all up. So he has to go out there and cut the piece. I haven't cut any of that into pieces yet. I still have enough to make about 5 toys. They're big toys, so that's quite a bit of wood.
Maybe you
Thank you,
should.
Bob.
Maybe you shouldn't bother with cutting it up. Maybe you should just put the whole beams just in the aviary and let them go at it. Cut out the middleman.
Yeah, I have a feeling that there wouldn't be a shed there if I did that, though. 'Cause they'll take everything apart. Oh, that wood looks good. It's kind of like that book by Frank McCourt, um, Angela's Ashes. There's a section in there where I mean, he was dirt poor. He came to the United States and became a teacher, but he was absolutely dirt poor, and they didn't have any heat, and it's winter, and they're freezing, so they start taking wood. They were renting this. I don't know. They were like kind of like condominiums, cheap condominiums because the walls were connected. But anyway, they started taking the wood off the walls, and the mother says, "Don't touch that. That's a beam. You can't take that out." She's gone, and one of the kids decides, "Oh, heck with it," and they take the beam out, and the ceiling falls. It's kind of what it would end up like. That's a funny book if you really want to have fun. Oh, speaking of books, now that I think about it, I think I finally got that video I can show you. If I remember what I'm holding in the phone with a phone holder, and I forget which end I'm holding sometimes. Bob, here, just take them. I don't need them anymore. It won't last him long. Okay, the book I was talking about, I finally got that little video up there. This is an important book review. This is a book every parrot companion should have. Preventative Health Care for Birds by Dr. Burkett. It covers everything from cages to toys to perches to food. It gives you insight, tells you what to do and what to avoid. He also has an excellent video on first aid. And as he said, it's first aid. It doesn't replace the veterinarian, but he has a great video there. But you need this book. It's short, to the point, and covers just about everything you need for basics. Everything from proper diet to a transport carrier. Believe me, you need this in your library. I am not associated with Dr. Burkett in any way, and this is not a paid advertisement. It's just my recommendation.
Don, you are still muted.
Yes, I was about to say that.
Yeah, that's bizarre. It's supposed to turn off mute automatically. I shouldn't have to do that, but there is a glitch going today because it shut off my microphone a couple of times. So
Looks like Shuggy is busy again.
she's decided to come out. Yeah.
But she's not gone to Don, though. She's gone to another bird.
Yep.
Oh, she's
So Don's
not
still
happy
in the
with me.
doghouse.
I was trying to think if there's another name for doghouse that would work with birds, but I can't. Oh, I can't think of one. Got to be something.
So in the chat, Giselle shares some stories with us about her bird Cecil and Caesar and her dogs. She says Caesar's screeches at his loudest are painful to my ears and my dogs. I look at my Amazon and wonder if other bird ears are as affected to the high decibel. My Amazon will yell at Caesar, stop it.
That's funny. Well, they do learn by context. So, in that situation, you'd expect them to do that. And do not do that. Get out of my pocket. I have to clean these before I wash them because you get loaded with wood in there. Little monster. I won't be wearing these much longer, though, because when it gets hot, I won't be wearing these outside. It's warm today, but. Gesundheit. Well, I've always liked Dr. Burkett. I have purchased things from his wholesale company too, but it has to come all the way across the country, and any company that says shipping and handling is making a little extra money on you because what the handling is questionable. But what are you doing? What are you doing? You're going to come up here? Well, I guess I can change the settings on the camera. It's not easy to do, but come on. I'm going to turn it this way to change it. There you go, front camera. Yeah. You guys. Oh, Jasmine. Yeah, every day it's dealing with issues. This one used to nip me to get petted. Now he just taps me 800 times a day to get petted. Now that he knows he has control of I'm a petting machine. You just have to tap it and it pets you. Right? 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 Isn't that right? Cecil. I just hope Bob doesn't catch on to that. I mean, he learned to say "I love you" from Romeo, so he picks up things like that, don't you, boy? He learned to bark, hoping that they would take him out for a walk instead of the little dogs that were getting walked every day. Right, Bob? Hey, Sea Salt. Hey, Sea Salt. Bob had to get into better position to preen better, so preen the other side. That's easy for you to say. That's easy for you to say. Sugar is still ignoring me. She's just preening, but not looking at me. You guys. Oh, you looked at me for the first time in a while, Shug. Hi, Shug. Hi, Sugar. Hi, Shug. Oh, well, she's forgiven me now. Have you forgiven me for stopping you from your death march, huh? Trying to kill the big boy? Hmm?
There's a downside of being in a sulk, and it means no beak pets.
Yep, she likes the beak petting, so she'll forgive me. I haven't been shunned like that from her in a long time. When I used to have to put collars on her, she would turn away from me and give me the cold shoulder because she hates collars. But who would like to have a straight jacket around their neck? Okay, guys, I'm gonna try to change the camera angle. I don't know. Good luck. I'll be right back, Sugar. Give me a sec. Hi, Shug. Whoops. Hi, Sugar. Bob, get out of my pocket. Monster. Don't do it. Don't do it. Bob. It's not for you. I gotta move this camera. There. That's better. Bob, get away from there. Stop it. The solution was to
The
get him
method
on.
demonstrating parrot problems, so you can show us how to solve them.
That's generous.
He's,
Well done.
Yeah, he's such a good boy, always helping.
you guys. I gotta pet her. She's not real happy with me, but
Let's greet also Leonie in chat and Jocelyn Triggle and Spirit Matter.
Hello.
You joined all late, but we also started a little late today, so we will be a little over time. Some birdies were making already problems before the live stream started, right, Sugar?
Yeah, don't plan a video, a live stream on parrot problems. Apparently, that sets them off. Hi, Sugar. Aw, there's a Sugar the bird. What a beautiful girl. There you are. You're a good girl most of the time. I don't know why you have a death wish for Mander right now, but you do. Mander's looking over like, why is he petting her? He might take his arm off.
Also, welcome to Angel's Live, who just joined the chat. So Leonie's telling us about her experiences with when cockatoo flew over its ear piecing, and then I'm not even sure if that are birds. What are currawongs? Currawongs. She says, I have currawongs tapping on my kitchen window for beef mince. So that's cool. And sometimes they already have been by themselves in the kitchen when she left the door open. So great.
I'm assuming that Leonie is in Australia.
Yeah, I seem to remember that she has been in chat lately and talking about birds she's feeding. So yeah. It's 7:55 a.m. tomorrow from where we are.
Yeah.
You know how you can tell an Aussie that has encountered a box jellyfish?
No.
No, they're usually, well, in every case they're in you'll find them in a graveyard. It takes about 3 minutes for the venom in a box jellyfish to kill you.
Well, that got dark quickly.
Yeah.
Well, that's just because I really like the book The Swarm, and there's a whole bunch of fun facts in there about the ocean, and not just Australia, but you learn a lot about the different kinds of marine animals all around the world. What are you doing? What are you doing? Beautiful country though. Lots of wild, crazy animals down there, down under. And lots of cockatoos. I'd love to see that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they even have quite the wildlife in urban areas.
I think it would be fun to go to the park and hang out with the cockies.
Oh, it would. That would be a blast.
There they can steal your sandwich and chew your clothes.
And pull the mirrors off your car.
That's another question you ask people in Australia. Do you have one brick or two on your trash can?
Well, I once shared with you the report that the solution to them pushing down one brick is putting 2 bricks on the top, which killed me because I'm not sure if that was sarcasm. I think they were serious about that.
I think they were serious too. Although these guys will figure it out. You know, that they're good at that. There's a video of one bird doing it by himself, just pushing one end a little bit, then the other end, just going back and forth until the brick comes off. It's like, But they
I
usually
mean,
team up.
basically, gravity is doing all the work.
They're smart, these guys.
Mm.
What you doing? You gonna accept me now? You're gonna accept me as long as I keep petting you, right?
Maybe she needs an apology fry or two.
Probably. The thing is, I can't. Well, she. I can mix. I got potatoes. I can make some fries. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll make you some fries today, huh? I don't have a deep fryer or anything like that because you can't have hot oil in the house. But and the ones that are supposed to be without oil, most of them have Teflon, so you can't use those.
You mean the air fryer?
Yeah, the air fryers. They still have Teflon now.
Amanda,
As my
that
last
was half
comment,
a spin.
my last comment about Teflon is they buy all this non-stick cookware, which of course we don't use, but the reason they call it non-stick is because that Teflon coating comes off. That's what doesn't stick is the Teflon, and it ends up in your food, so you're eating Teflon. I don't know how good that is for you, but I just cook on stainless. I got stainless steel, but well, guys, it's that time. I hate to say it, but I am under strict orders to keep petting Sugar because we don't want her to go back into the corner and sulk anymore, do we? No, we don't. Or attack Mander. So
Maybe
thanks,
a
guys,
last quick questions from Leonie, who wants to know if your birds also go inside. Yes, they do. They actually live inside there. They have their sleeping or their day cages and a playroom. And when the weather is in the right temperature range, then they go outside in the aviary. So, okay, then.
we almost made it through to this point without me getting pooped on, but
Oh, no. Poor Don. So thanks everybody for coming.
thank you.
Yeah.
And say, Bob, can you say thank you? He says, no, I just don't want to see the screen. Thanks, Amy and Eleanor, for moderating. And thanks, everybody, for being here. And we're gone.
I'll see you Wednesday.
Bye
Golden
bye.
stocks. Bye.
Science knowledge only adds to the excitement, the mystery, and the awe of a flower.
Evidence is evidence. It's public. Everybody can look at the evidence and assess it, and eventually, if there's enough evidence, come to the same conclusion.
The Chloe Sanctuary for Parrots and Cockatoos, a nonprofit charity dedicated to the empowerment of captive parrots and public awareness.